Ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap. The class is done. Everybody's put their signatures to paper. All 19 commits, 18 scholarship, 1 PWO. Done deal. It's over. Sooners have their class for 2025. That includes a flip at quarterback and the 5-star you've been waiting for, Michael Fasusi. Let's dive into this class real quick. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. So, told y'all we would drop this right after the big guy decided to make his decision. Even though he's already committed, he just had to do his signing and everything. And he did his signing at 2 o'clock at Louisville High School, put in his paperwork, and boom. Look at it. Oklahoma's got themselves another 5-star offensive lineman. So let's take a look at some of the players and highlight some of the big ones. I think the biggest one to really point out is the flip that happened. The Sooners picked up Jet New, as now I know how to pronounce his name. Jet New, the quarterback out of Lehigh, Utah. About 6'2", 170, string beanish, 3-star. But when we watched his film yesterday, dude can sling it. And there's some things that you need to work out, probably some mechanics or whatnot, but he was dropping dimes. And he throws very well, and he fits what Ben Arbuckle is going to want to do in his system overall. And Ben had been on him at Washington State when Jet decided to pick Oklahoma State. Ben had already, Coach Arbuckle had already put in for him to, got an offer in and everything, was trying to recruit him there. And then the minute that Coach Arbuckle got here, he hit him up and was like, hey, I know you're going to Oklahoma State, but I'd love for you to come to Oklahoma. And Brent Venables mentioned that Darius Afalava, the interior offensive lineman out there in Utah. He's in Lehigh, Utah as well, but he's at Sky Ridge. He played kind of an intermediary to help bridge that gap and bring it all home. So Jet New's going to be your quarterback for the 25 class. I've talked about this before. Depending on how good he turns out, you may never see him on the field. Just because the class, the way it's set up, you still got young quarterbacks in Jackson Arnold and Michael Hawkins until one decides to hit the portal. We'll wait and see. Brendan Zerbrug is still on the roster. We don't know what his decisions are going to be. Then you have Jaden O'Neal, who's coming in the 26th class so far. So because of that, we don't know what the movement's going to be. But Brent Venables also went in the presser. They had the signing day live stream not too long ago, and some players he really pointed out was on that defensive side and that secondary. One thing to note, this team has about 81 players that are freshmen and sophomores that played about 8,000 snaps. So you had a lot of young dudes play, and because of that, that's going to be work. You got to find ways to get everybody to play. You don't want to have a team that's just too young, but hey, that's all that matters. And so because of that, you want to get yourself enough players to join the class to continue to grow with and then play around with this roster number of 105. We've talked about that ad nauseum. We won't go into any details, but he did key in on the secondary. You're getting Malik Hawkins, 6'1", consensus composite 4-star. I see 3-star here on 3, but 247 has Malik listed as he's a 3-star there. He is Michael Hawkins' little brother. He's coming in. Then you have Cortland Guillory, which, man, Cortland Guillory's a dog. 4-star out of Houston, Texas. His paperwork is already in, of course. Then Marcus Wimberly at safety to go along with Trinae Washington at corner. Now, Trinae is an interesting one. 4-star, top 200 player out of Midwest City, Carl Albert, 6'2" corner. So you got another tall one. And then, of course, you got LeMan and Amarion Robinson, who is right there at the cuffs of 5-star with rivals. He's number 41 in the country, number 1 in the state of Arkansas. So 2 Arkansas kids, Amarion Robinson as well as Marcus Wimberly, who both like to hit folks. And then, some nice sizey corners in Cortland Guillory as well as Trinae Washington and Malik Hawkins, all over 6 foot. Told you that they're going to go with the tall guy movement. The goal is to get big dudes like that. Trent Wilson's your main interior guy, 6'2", 260. And granted, the big thing with Trent is, you still got a lot of young. We brought in a big class of linemen last class. So you got a lot of young dudes. He'll be the youngest. And then you will supplement him with dudes right behind him in this next class. So I expect in 26 for the Sooners to be active in the defensive line, especially the interior, as well as in the portal. You're going to need to be able to fill some holes and have some players just in case. But with Trent on that line, you got C.J. Nixon, who basketball player / edge, 6'5", about 220. But I think he'll definitely be bulked up as we go forward. You add him with, Alexander Shield Knight, which they love out of Wagner. I've heard a few of you guys make comments on the kiddo, but the staff likes him, and they like to be able to keep that pipeline with Wagner, who produces some pretty stout dudes on a regular basis. You got Alexander Shield Knight to go in with that as well. And so there's a reason, there's a purpose for everything. And then it's your linebackers, Marcus James, which is really your only linebacker, 6'3", and a half, about 210. Didn't flip Caleb Burns, which I got probably reasons for it. But to be all honest on that, we got a lot of linebackers. You got Marcus James coming in. You still got James Nesta. And then you got Phil Pachotti. You still got Lewis Carter, Kobe McKenzie, Hassan McCullough, Kip Lewis. Linebacker room's full. Like, very full. Taylor Heim. You got a lot of linebackers. And so what you're going to have to do is may end up processing some folks, or you're going to ride with just a few and then backload it in 26 with dudes that can play today. Hopefully the class is full. I need to go evaluate it. Then you move on the offensive side. You got Ryan Fogier as well as Michael Fasusi, 2 top 10 tackles. Can't beat that. Owen Holenbeck, your interior offensive lineman, 6'2", 340, power lifter and wrestler. He'll be your next center. He's one to keep your eyes out on. He may be a 3-star, but because he's a power lifter down there in Melissa, Texas, and I think he's a state champion wrestler as well as power lifter, he's going to be really hard to get around at center. That's the beauty of being that big. He can do that. Trinae Washington out there at tight end. Oh, yeah, Darius Afalava is also your interior offensive lineman out of Utah. We talked about him earlier. Love what Darius's game is. He's nasty, too, just like the other dudes we've got in B.J. Brooks and EPL. Class is filling up. Trinae Washington at tight end, 6'3", 205. I think he's going to grow even more in size. He's a consensus composite 4-star, which you can't beat that. Trinae is good at Carl Albert, too. Another Carl Albert kid. So with Tristan Haynes, Trinae Washington, as well as Marcus James, your 3 Carl Albert kids to add with X-Rob. Oh, love that we keep that pipeline going. Then you got your wide receivers with Elijah Thomas, ET, over there at Chakota. BV said he was the easiest recruitment out of all. 6 foot, 180 wide receiver. Top 110 player in the country, 103 total. Considered one of the best in the state, consensus composite. Nobody else has him. Everybody basically says he's the best dude in the state. He can ball. And that's what you got to do. You got to make sure you get your okay preps. You want all the dudes local. You want to land them. Manny Choice, 6'4", 190 wide receiver from down in Lancaster, Texas. Top 300 player in the country, 4-star. He's going to be a big surprise. I think he's going to shock you all. I truly believe he's another Nick Anderson when he's healthy. That's how good Manny Choice is. His route running is really good, and he uses his size well. That's what's going to be critical. He's on ball. And then, of course, Torrey Blaylock, running back, son of Derek Blaylock that played for the Chiefs. Kid's a burner down there in Houston. Whew. 5'10", 195. He's good. Dude was getting like 7-8 touchdowns on a regular basis in games, dog. He's 5, 6, 7, just random, boom. Run like a flag. So check them out. Hop in the comments. Let them know your thoughts. I know that the insiders are going to have like some interviews. I know OU Insiders doing some interviews tonight. So check those out so you can watch them live. May go live tonight. I'm not sure. We'll see just how I feel later on this evening. But class is wrapped up. We Gucci. Oh, yeah, you got to ask Sean Hutton. I'm sorry, Sean Hutton. He comes from Louisville as well with Michael Fasusi. He's your PWO. Nice size lineman. And I think Sean's going to be a very good contributor. I don't think that he's one to really sleep on. Dad went to OU. I don't think he played, but he went to OU. But he's about 6'2", 6'3", 315. So he's a big-sized kid playing in the interior. Louisville been producing some dudes. And adding him to the fold with Fasusi, Oklahoma did everything right. That's all I got to tell you. Oklahoma did everything right with him and Fasusi together coming in. Stoked to see it. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. All right. Class is basically done. We'll dive into what this means going forward a little bit later. And, yeah, portal time, baby. About to get busy. We'll talk soon. Peace.